So I need 40 more of the Coronia stones to get a 13 star. I'm not sure which one to go after. I was thinking of getting the katana just for the raw attack power. I hear the potential is like 30% cost reduction on all the moves that you do, but minus 5% damage, which sounds kind of dumb. That was quick. So, I don't know if anyone's even watching right now, but if the stream goes down, post something, because Shadowplay just randomly turns my stream off sometimes. So, just let me know in the chat and I'll turn it back on. So I didn't go to the store. I decided to not spend any money today. I've been spending too much because I've just been so like dealing with crippling depression, so for my own sake I decided to just not spend any money today. Tomorrow I'll go get some stuff. I've still got like a couple days of food in the fridge. Yeah, I just wish I could get out of this situation I'm in. Can't afford anything. It's like I can't even afford stuff to like just make myself not feel so shitty. That's what really sucks. The rent's fine, it's just I can't afford anything else, pretty much. And it's just hard because this stuff's expensive to do, and I don't make enough money. You know, people that watch, they only want the big new console games, and I can barely afford those. They're too expensive. I've been playing a lot of indie games because they're actually like affordable for me. You know, costs an arm and a leg. Same thing with the new console. I can't afford that. I can't afford a new GPU. I can't even get a processor, which is like the cheapest thing. And I've been trying to like take Twitch more seriously, but no one watches unless I'm playing Basara. And that game just gets so tiresome to play. I haven't played it in like a good week. I really wish they had added some more modes or something. It just gets so boring going through the story levels like a million times. It really sucks being typecast. How much I try to diversify, people will only come to me for one thing. And that's what's been making me depressed. Like, no matter how much I try to like vary what I put up, no one fucking cares. They want the same game endlessly. Like, they don't want anything new. That's a problem with society in general, though. Like, people won't even give something new a chance. They'll just keep doing the same thing. You look at the PlayStation Twitter, whenever they post like the new PS Plus games, and if they're all indies, like the stuff people say is like really depressing. Like, it can be like the best indie game ever, and they won't even like look at it. It's just instantly dismissed because it's not a brown first-person shooter or another generic open-world game with a big checklist of boring stuff to do. No, Basara is not really crowd control, especially not Basara 4. I'd say Basara 3 and anything prior to that was a lot more like a Muso game. Like, the enemy crowds were a lot larger. Basara 4, you know, you can tell they like had to work some magic to get that game running at 60 FPS because the PS3 is so weak. So the enemy density is a lot smaller. I find the game's a lot more about just, you know, being stylish and playing really skillfully than, you know, most Muso games. Before, crowd control was a lot more important because they had more enemies on the screen, but before they had to cut back on that a lot because they did like a whole new graphics engine. They cut support for the Wii, and I guess to do the tag mode and all the crazy stuff they had to cut some corners somewhere, which I personally don't mind. Some people, it's been a pretty heavy complaint, like the lack of enemy density, but the gameplay is top-notch in Basara 4. It's just, it gets boring playing through the same levels. endlessly, no matter how you slice it. I do a variety of stuff, it's just people tend to just want the same thing. One thing I can tell you is if you do this kind of stuff, like, logic will tell you to just play the same game forever for views, but it's not good for your mental health to do that. Like, you have to diversify, even if it's just like, you know, a couple times a month. If you don't diversify, like, you're gonna make the typecasting even worse because people won't even be able to comprehend you playing something else. A lot of speedrunners on here have that problem. Like, they get like a world record on something, or they optimize it, and they pick up a new speed game. Like, people leave in droves because it's not the same game. Even though, you know, they've done like everything possible in the last game, like, people won't even give it a shot. You just like expected to play the same game endlessly, and that's why I diversify as much as I can. Even though it doesn't work too well, it's still better than being known as the guy who plays the same game for eternity. And if you get tired of that game, you're screwed. You got nothing else to you know, fall back on. Like, when I get tired of a series or a game, you know, I have so much other stuff that I can rotate in, and that's how I'm able to keep doing it. I don't know, my stuff's not random, it's all stylish action games, it's just different subgenres. You know, like, this is an action MMO. Kind of a very light definition of an MMO because it's all instant. But, you know, I play beat-em-ups, Muso games, platformers, stuff like that. They're all fast-paced action games. But I'm able to grow and build more than one community. So, you know, if a couple people get salty because I'm not playing one game, you know, I've got other communities on there that are interested in the other stuff that I'm doing. I obviously don't have a huge channel, but I have noticed a difference from people who just play the same thing. I haven't been playing DMC4 Special Edition because of the random stuttering and the fact that they just kind of abandoned support for it. They never even supported the game at all, they just kind of dumped it out there. But I might come back to it. Pretty shady to put out a PC port that's outsourced and then not supported at all. Just kind of throw it out in the market and not even do anything with it. I mean, it's not like the worst port out there, but some people like can't even play it. The game just crashes. Like, that's not acceptable. Like, 2 months later, they haven't even like said they're working on it. Even the Batman Arkham Knight port is better than that. I mean, they were smart enough to take it off the marketplace until they could fix it. Which is the lesser of two evils, you know. I'd rather know that a patch is coming and just wait for it instead of just not knowing if I'm ever going to be able to play something I bought. I don't know why they outsourced it. I mean, how hard could it have been? It's the same game. It just stings more because the original port was amazing. still one of the best PC ports on Steam, like 7 years later. Hardly anything compares to the DMC4 vanilla port. You could run that game on a toaster at 60 FPS. That's why I haven't really been trying to play that game at a high level. I just don't really care enough right now. Yeah, I know some of the physics and stuff is all messed up. You'd think for a game that's all about really technical, advanced gameplay that they'd like actually put some priority into fixing it, but nope. Just throw it on the Steam store, call it a day. We don't have to support it. Pretty shady stuff. Pretty crazy though, like Batman's still not on the Steam store. It's been like 2 months, it's still not fixed. That's the worst I've ever seen though, like outsourcing a port and having it be handled so badly that it has to be taken off sale. Even Green Man Gaming, which normally doesn't give refunds because they only give Steam keys, they had their issue refunds too because so many people bought it from them. That's when you know it's bad, when like an external Steam game seller company has to like change their policies. Like the game is that broken. They normally don't do refunds at all because, you know, you can put it on your account and get a refund and they would lose money. They had to do it with Batman. They were told by WB to issue refunds anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had to like completely redo the Batman port. I'm pretty sure everybody just got a refund by now. I mean, who wants to have a digital paperweight that's freaking $60? I sure wouldn't. So I need like 40 stones to get a 13 star. I'm torn between the katana and the twin machine guns. I could probably get both. How many stones do I have right now? I've got like 6 of them. Yeah, it's gonna take quite a few more runs. Bad timing. Everyone in this game, this game has a society of like little petite little girls. They actually did they showed statistics for the game, and it's like 70% female characters, 30% male. So like whenever I do like an emergency quest, it's not uncommon for me to be the only male character out of 12 people. I really don't understand the obsession with it, but especially since a lot of the male clothes are really cool. Like this trench coat I've got is like one of the best costumes in the game, in my opinion. I don't know, it's just to me, it's like the game, it's about looking cool. This isn't like the most technical game out there. The most technical stuff you can do in this game is like solo boss rushes, which takes a pretty huge amount of grinding, like less about like actually practicing against the bosses and just like actually getting your gear. Like, I'd rather be something that looks cool than a little kid in a bikini. But to each his own, I guess. Every once in a while you see a really cool male character that has like awesome clothes and accessories. Like when you do the AC scratch and you get like male clothes, it's considered trash because it won't sell as much. You know, if they're doing some skimpy costume or whatever, like, that will go for millions. You get, like, a suit of armor for your male character, not worth anything in comparison. I mean, my guy looks pretty awesome. I have like a whole wardrobe for him because it costs nothing. Haven't seen a single rare Zigmorde spawn at all today. I've done probably like 20 runs. That's pretty much the only chance you have of getting anything, is if you get a rare spawn. But it doesn't happen that often. Damn, didn't even do a stun attack once. That's really fast. The coolest, like, character in this game is probably, like, the male cast. Like, you can make them look really awesome, but from what I hear, being a cast is like suffering because there's barely any parts for them. They don't put out clothes for the cast that much because nobody plays them. Everyone wants to wear a skimpy outfit, and you can't do that when you're a robot. Every once in a while they put out parts for the cast that look like fleshy, like look like an actual human, and those cost an arm and a leg. Like, no one wants to look like a cool robot. They want to wear skimpy clothing. I thought about making a cast, but I kind of wanted to play more than one class, so my dude's a human. And humans, just like PSO1, are more well-rounded. Like, I play like 5 classes in this game out of 8. And I can do pretty well. And they made the stats like not matter that much. It's not as much of a big part of the like metagame as it was in PSO1. Yeah, they are. They all... I don't know why they like that. I really don't understand it. Here's one that's at least wearing something that looks kind of cool. Whoa, is that a male cast? Am I seeing things? It won't stand still. A male character at all is like a shiny Pokemon. Like, I did the Magatsu EQ when I had my stream off, and I was like the only guy, male character, out of 12 people. It showed me the victory screen. It shows you all the characters, and I was like the tallest one there. It's the only one that wasn't like 3 feet tall. What double saber is he using? I'm curious. Yeah, it's a male cast. Man, that's rare. What does this do? Oh wow, that's freaking beastly. Attacks at close range get a power increase? Damn, I might have to get that. Still no rare spawn. Haven't seen it once today. This is going pretty fast though. I should be able to get enough stones to just buy one pretty soon. I'll pop a rare drop boost next boss. Maybe I can at least get some trash to sell. Nobunaga's Rayquaza? Are they still doing a collaboration with Koei or something? I don't really follow Pokemon. Not anymore anyway. Oh. So I think the second one is the stone you need for the 13 stars from the stone shop. So that means I need 30 more. At the very least, 10 more runs. You can also get gold weapon badges for an S rank. So I might not get it anytime soon. Depends on how the game feels like treating me. So if you think what I'm doing is boring now, it used to be the only way you could get the strongest weapons was to do a really stressful mission. Like, the monsters attacked really often, there's just dozens of them everywhere. And the only thing that dropped anything was the boss at the end. So people would just do the boss hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, if not more. Trying to get the one thing, and you can't trade that quality of item either. So if it actually drops something and it's something you couldn't use, there goes your RNG for the next month. It was pretty bad. I actually quit the game because of it. A lot of people quit. But now they've added alternative methods of getting that stuff, so it's actually not so dumb. Like, I did it like maybe like 10 times, and I'm like, I'm done with this. It's never gonna drop anything. At least now, you know, you can trade in a currency and get them. How many MMOs have actual combat? Not many. That's why this game is awesome. I mean, it's not like the deepest combat out there, but it's fast, it's fluid, it's responsive, the controls are really good. You can pretty much count the games that are still active that have that kind of combat in this genre on like both your hands pretty much. But they're almost always cursed with having terrible localizations. that are poorly handled that die quickly. Like when they do the boring ones with the generic, you know, slow, sluggish combat, like they do a good job with those, but something like this is actually unique. No chance. Like Phantasy Star Universe was not as fluid as this is, but you know, it was still better than a lot of the other stuff that was out at the time. And they handled that terribly. Oh, later. I don't know, I mean, it's probably for the better that they do that. I mean, you look at stuff like Dragon Age, a lot of those big American Western IPs that say they're action games and the combat's trash, like, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, I would love it if Western developers could actually learn how to make really fluid, responsive combat, but they don't know how. It's like plain and simple. Like there's the Japanese and the Koreans are like the only ones that really excel at that kind of stuff. Those countries, continents, whatever. Like people hate on the DMC reboot so much. But that's like the best combat out of any Western action game. Still, like, almost 3 years later. Like, nothing else compares to that. I mean, obviously it's got its own problems, but it's still much more functional. Especially with the Definitive Edition, they really improved the game from what I heard. Everyone says the Japanese are always, like, behind, you know, Europe and America in terms of game design, but they're the only ones still putting out really solid gameplay. And that's why I play their games so much. I grew up when gameplay was king, and now it's like playing second fiddle to poorly written stories and motion captured cutscenes with AAA, like, Hollywood actors. That stuff doesn't appeal to me at all. Yeah, people hate on DMC so much, and it's like, well, look at the other Western action games, how terrible their combat is. No depth to it at all, it's not satisfying. That's why I'm excited for indie games to start, you know, making good action games. Pretty sad that, like, you know, I could probably, if I had the money, like, I could probably make a Kickstarter. If I had a big enough channel, you know, I could probably get, like, the best people in the community to come on and help. I hope that someone else will do that. I barely make ends meet as it is, so it's just a pipe dream for me, but we're probably going to see some really good indie games with good combat. Like Streets of Fury EX, like, that game's awesome. Made by a couple guys and their friends. And it's got, like, better combat than, like, the AAA blockbusters. It's both inspiring and depressing at the same time. The people who have no resources can make better gameplay than people who have millions of dollars and, like, 200-man development teams. Oh no, the Japanese are not invincible by any means, but they have a lot less misfires than the rest of the world does, that's for sure. Samurai Warriors 4, for instance, is like probably the biggest misfire. I hated that game. They didn't really add anything interesting to it. Hey, an X-Cube, I'll take that. That's an improvement over nothing. Yeah. Oh, looks like the party's ending. Damn. You still gonna go or what? Well, let's see if we can find someone else. I only need like 14 more stones to get a 13 star. I can get that tonight. I think that'll be it for today. I played this a lot today, so I'll be happy if I have enough to get one of those. You can check the title. It should say I'm playing Phantasy Star Online 2. Unless Shadow Plague just devoured my title again. I don't know, it's just the modern blockbusters, they have to cater to the lowest common denominator because the cost for a AAA game is like ridiculous right now. That's why, you know, the really technical, satisfying games that have really good gameplay, like, they don't come out as often. Like, they're more for niche communities and stuff, not for, you know, the people who watch, like, only summer blockbusters and stuff like that. Obviously, that's where the money is, but I kind of feel like even if they did have, like, the ability to make, like, really satisfying combat in a big, like, AAA game, that, you know, they wouldn't really be able to. You can't have something that complex in a multi-million blockbuster. These games have to sell so many copies to even break even. That's why, like, you watch, like, the PlayStation and Microsoft, like, social media accounts, like, they push indies like crazy because the AAA studios are taking forever to put anything out, and barely any survived the last generation. Like, people complain about indies to the moon, but it's like those consoles would have nothing on them at all if it wasn't for them. I wish people would stop complaining about indies and realize that, like, they'd be in a terrible spot if indies weren't picking up the slack. Okay, so I need 14 more stones. The thing that bothers me the most is the League of Legends clones. Like, I'm sorry, but those people are delusional. Like, you can't beat that game. That game's a juggernaut. It's invincible. Even if, like, you know, those games are better, like, people won't play it because there's no money in it. Like that Infinite Crisis one, I mean, they had like DC Comics behind that, and I heard they had to shut it down. Like, if a MOBA based around popular characters that have been around for like generations and generations, if that can't make it, like, what chance does anything else have? It's gotta be realistic at some point. You can't compete with those juggernauts, but people keep trying to do it anyway. Yeah, DMC is not like a perfect game by any means, but it's still the top dog in Western action combat. Nothing else comes close. I've never really been on the defense force for that game, but I will always say that it's a lot better than what else America and Europe have to offer, that's for sure. I think people playing it on Twitch is what made it take off. Wow, this lag.
達だ。よく聞け。
There's not really anything to it. It's just the same thing that's been happening with the mobile games. Like, mobile games, you know, you have one game that's just randomly gets crazy popular for no reason. And then there's, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of identical clones of the same thing trying to chase that same success. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, the mobile game industry is not sustainable because they don't make compelling, interesting games. They make cheap cash-ins that have no substance to them, and people get tired of them. I'm not a fan of League of Legends or Minecraft or Hearthstone, but I mean, those games do have some substance to them. I mean, there is some skill involved in those games, at least in like League of Legends and stuff. Like, most phone games are just there to suck your wallet dry until you get bored of it. And they're not out to offer any kind of decent gameplay experience at all. I think they're bad for the industry, honestly. People feel like they don't have to pay for a game anymore. Like, I'll gladly flop down $60 on something if it's a good game. Like, I've spent about probably like $60 on this game on the cash shop. Not like an excessive amount of money, but I wanted to support the game because this is a really good game. I'd like to see more stuff like it, but everybody's still just copying, you know, EverQuest combat from like 15 years ago. Yeah, I don't understand how people play League of Legends. Like, I know, what was that guy's name? Dyrus? He used to play DFO while he was waiting for a match in League of Legends. I'm like, why don't you just play DFO? Like, you don't have to sit there and wait for 20 minutes. Like, you can just play the game. No, there are great phone games out there. It's just you have to sift through a sea of shovelware to find anything decent. I don't know, for most hardcore gamers, like, why would you do that, you know? I mean, there's a lot of traditional games still coming out. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, but it's still easier to find something you can actually like than on a phone. How many Flappy Birds and Candy Crush Saga shitty clones do you have to sit through before you can actually find something good? Like, I don't have time for that. Most people don't. That's why those big games are like really popular and then their profits just disappear because people get bored of them. There's no substance to those games. Say what you want, but the popular games all have at least some substance to them. Traditional games are still gonna get made. I know people have been kind of talking up the traditional hardcore game apocalypse, but it's not gonna happen. I mean, you have companies like Konami which are gonna chase, you know, that mobile money and fail, but there's still plenty of people making awesome traditional games. As bad as those shitty mobile games are for the industry, like, people are still gonna make traditional stuff. The thing about a traditional game is it has legs. Those phone games don't. They're popular for a couple months and they make good money, and then the game falls off the face of the earth. People stop caring. Whoa, is that a male character? Oh, he looks really cool too. That's one for the history books. An actual male character. Not a little 3-year-old petite woman. I hear people, they're really pushing like the mobile controllers right now, and my take on that is, how does that solve anything? Like, I'm sorry, but if I have to lug a giant controller around to play a mobile game with buttons, like, that's not appealing to me at all. Like, the whole point of portable gaming is you can put it in your pocket, and it's a handheld device that has everything you need on it. Like, I don't understand why they're pushing mobile controllers so much. I would not want to pull out a giant controller and tether it onto my phone, like when I'm on the bus or train or something. It just, like, totally defeats the purpose to me. I mean, if I'm gonna lug a controller around, why not just go the whole way and just, like, bring an entire console and go set it up at a power outlet or something, like. I don't know much about mobile controllers, but I mean, they're like the size of the phone. How do you carry something like that around? Everybody's running the Ragna sword camo. It's pretty cool. I should grab one of the Ragna costumes. Maybe when I have some more money. Whoa, is that a 6 slot? Where is that? No, 5 slot. Those are worth money sometimes. I want to play Oni-chan Bara, but I'm barely scraping by as it is. I can't afford a $400 console. No chance. As much as I would love to do a fundraiser, raise enough money for a new, you know, high-end processor and a PS4, like, I don't really think I have the following to raise that kind of money. But I do live about a half hour away from the gaming lounge. I'm gonna talk to the owner, see if I can maybe like buy the game and play it there. I don't think he'd mind that. I don't know, there's really not much on PS4 that I can't play on PC. Honestly. I mean, there's a couple games, but not like a large amount. There's like a handful that I can't play on PS4, or I mean on PC or Vita. That's why I haven't really been sweating not having one too much. It would be nice to have one, sure, but I don't know, it's mostly just Japan is really slow to adopt any kind of new console at all. And their output on the PS4 has been pretty low. Oh, that was a crappy rare drop boost. I didn't get anything. Just got some random junk. Oh well, I'm really only after the stones, not really after anything rare. I need like 10 more stones, so 5 more runs. Yeah, see, I would have bought a PS4, or at least did a fundraiser or something to play Kiwami, but they had it on Vita, so I got it on there. The same frame rate, same everything, pretty much. Most of the big Japanese games on PS4 are coming to Vita, unless they're, like, intensive enough that the Vita can't handle it. I'd say having a Vita and PC is like the best for like niche games right now. You get all the indies and you get most of them portable. The really high-end ones anyway. Actually, I take that back. PC, Vita, and Wii U is like a good niche game combo. The Wii U is kind of like more of a supplement, because the Wii U doesn't really get that many games at all. For people who like, you know, actually play stuff besides the big annual blockbusters, like that's a pretty good combination of consoles to have. I think the PS4 will get there in a couple years, but still not a whole lot of niche games on there at all. At least ones that aren't available on another platform. Well, it's Nintendo. All they have is their AAA franchises. That's all that they've had for like 15 years now. And none of the big developers are gonna bother putting their stuff on their consoles because they don't put out anything on par with the competitors in terms of hardware. So their situation is not gonna get any better. I hear the NX is not going to be really powerful either, so they're kind of already dooming themselves to have to pretty much support the console by themselves. They don't have the manpower to do that. It's a miracle they put out as much as they do. The last time they had like decent hardware parity with their competitors was the GameCube, which is like 15 years ago. Everything else they put out since then, like, hasn't been able to run stuff like the big consoles can. Whoa! What's this? Hey, that might be something good. At least it's an X cube. Hey, it's Mr. Umbla. I haven't seen him since I started playing this game again.
Emergency code present. Completed.
Come on! Go! Come on, I'm on cooldown. Go! Go! What are you doing? Go! What? Freaking wasted my cooldown for no reason. That was awful timing.